Well, across the Atlantic, there are global financial troubles in the UK as it becomes the latest nation to feel the pinch. Ratings giant Moody's has downgraded 12 of Britain's financial firms and banks, including the Royal Bank of Scotland and Lloyd's TSB. That comes after the Bank of England's chief said the country's economy is at its lowest point since the 1930s, if not ever. Well, let's get some more on this development from British Euro MP Godfrey Bloom, who joins us live. Thanks for being with us. Banks and even countries like the U.S., Italy, have suffered these credit downgrades, I should say, recently. But people are always quick to deny there's anything to worry about. What do these downgrades actually mean? How do they have a real impact?
Well, the problem that we have, of course, that these banks and these economies are broke. And it's the problem of politicians and central banks spending, artificially depressing interest rates, creating a credit boom, and that always creates a bust. Whenever you have a boom, you always end up with a bust. And of course, the problem that we have now is that the chickens are coming home to roost. You cannot continually, a government or a bank or anybody else, spend more money than they raise in taxation. And this is why it's all going wrong. And we haven't seen anything yet. This is going to get significantly worse.
And we're hearing this put into the context of optimism. Britain's Chancellor of the Exchequer, George Osborne, believes British banks are strong enough and the government is just taking steps to avoid taxpayers having to bail them out again. Do you think that's the real case?
Well, no, what he's doing is artificially creating money. He's inventing money electronically out of absolutely nowhere. It's called quantitative easing, but actually it's counterfeiting money. It's doomed to failure. It always fails. It's failed in the past. It's never been successful. If it was successful, why doesn't he give money printing machines to every family in the United Kingdom that they could put in their attic and print money whenever they want to go and buy something? I've never heard anything quite so absurd. Only politicians and academics could possibly come up with something quite so ludicrous.
But let's turn to the Bank of England and their latest statement, if I may. Its chief believes the economy is slowing down much faster than previously thought. What exactly is stifling Britain's growth?
Well, we have still far too much public spending. The Chancellor of the Exchequer talks about cuts, but of course he hasn't made any cuts. In the last 12 months, the public borrowing requirement for the United Kingdom has actually gone up. Not down. So whatever you're seeing on your high street or your local council doesn't actually reflect what's really happening. So government borrowing is actually going up. And there are too many people still in the public sector. The wealth-creating sector is the private sector, and we still have far too many people in the public sector who aren't creating wealth. We have to get back to sound money, and we have to get back to sound money very soon. The equivalent of what the Chancellor's actually doing, imagine a man washed up on a shore on a deserted island and eating their own leg because there's nothing else to eat. All that's happening is that they're creating money to buy their own debt. It's actually, in any other walk of life, it would be illegal and you'd go to prison for it.
Right. You said you called quantitative easing counterfeiting money, but on Thursday, the Bank of England announced a cash injection of $100 billion into the British economy. Who benefits from that? Who actually sees that cash?
It props up the banks for a little bit longer, but it doesn't do much else. Ordinary people don't get it. And what it actually has the terrible effect of, it degrades the currency. Currency, pound notes are only a medium of exchange, you know. Flooding the market with them isn't going to actually help the economy at all. And of course it depresses unnaturally interest rates, which means old people, pensions, people on fixed income all suffer from this quantitative easing. And of course further down the road it must end in inflation. You can't suddenly manufacture in the last 2 years, which these people have done, 250 billion pounds without it ending in inflation down the road. It's bound to do, and this is exactly what happened in the Weimar Republic in Germany in the 1920s.
All right, Godfrey Bloom, British Euro MP, thanks for being on the line with us live from the UK.